Hi, I'm Dr. Mark, and I'm going to help you sing and perform more like the top artists around the world. I'm a professional voice teacher, performance coach, and opera stage director. I've helped thousands of singers around the world learn the techniques and methods that got the top singers to where they are. Today, let's talk about what makes Sera's cover of Dance Monkey, the one that went viral on Instagram, so awesome.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. So take your hands, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me there when I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I seek you every time.
Okay, so a few things off the bat here that we're hearing. What is it that it grabs our attention? Well, there's a few things that grab our attention. Number one is that we're hearing this really clean sound, right? It's got a really consistent placement. We're hearing it buzzy, we're hearing it forward. It's a sound that I associate with speech level technique in singing, where there's a lot of really good things that come away from that technique. A few trends that I'm not a big fan of, but what I'm hearing here is this connection to really just that speaking voice where they're not trying to manufacture anything. They're just trying to keep this really consistent airflow going all the time at that kind of speech quality. That's excellent. That's really cool. We don't want someone to be doing all of these different things to manufacture their voice. We want to unlock their real voice and explore the different colors and shapes that their voice can make. So that's one of the things that stands out, is that it sounds professional to me because of that consistency of airflow, the consistency of placement, and also because it's really expressive in there at the same time. She's giving us a lot of different accents on different words. She's shaping phrases. Lots of really cool stuff going on. Other thing that stands out is that she's not just singing and making it sound pretty, right? She's being expressive with her body. Yeah, she's at this mic and she has to sing to this mic, and that's a limiting factor. She's got this pop guard and that kind of blocks her face, but she's still being expressive with her body. We're not seeing tension in these arms and in the shoulders. They're staying nice and relaxed. We're seeing a little bit of tension here in her neck, and I don't know if that's because of her posture or because of compression that might be building up, but one way or the other, her body looks really relaxed and she's really expressive. So all those things together put us at ease. They make us feel comfortable. The other thing that I'm noticing here that I love is that she's just hanging out. Looks like it's probably in an attic somewhere, maybe, because of the slanted roof. It's kind of a strange place. She's in a baseball cap, t-shirt, relaxed, just doing her thing. The reason I love that is it just feels authentic, first and foremost. Second, it's just a person making music and having a really good time doing it. That's really enjoyable to me. That's something really exciting to see, someone that's putting themselves out there and sharing what they have with the people around them and sharing cool stuff, especially when they're singing as well as she's singing, and they're really engaging to watch performance-wise. So really cool. Let's keep going. You seeing that jaw open a ton? Not really. Are you seeing that the space is open a ton? Moderate. Seeing this upper tooth smile come out? Yeah. Again, she's just keeping from everything from the back teeth forward really speech-like. That's awesome. It's not introducing any excess tension. That tongue's able to stay flat and relaxed. That jaw's relatively in that drop down back place. All really cool stuff.
I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. One more time.
So I'm watching this. One of the things that I'm really curious about, and I'll have to look it up. Again, this is just kind of a first time view. It just popped up and it looked interesting. Is that you'll notice her eye pattern. She engages the camera, but she's also closing her eyes a lot, which is its own thing. But she's really, with her face, is engaging almost 180 degree field of view, which matches what most performers deal with, especially if they're dealing with proscenium stage or something like that, where she's clearly in her brain somehow addressing a bigger audience. I would wonder what's going through her head first, and B, if she has a lot of experience on stage in front of crowds. It looks like she does. And again, my apologies if there's big fans out there and she's like doing awesome, huge stuff, and I just don't know. She might be. But what's cool here is that she is paying attention to us through the camera, but she's also really aware of opening herself to a broader world. This is cool because she's in this tiny space, right? We can't see the rest of the room, but just by implication of the slanted roof and that she's up against it so close, as we can tell with the shadows, that it's got to be kind of tight in here. So this is a really awesome tip when you are singing in a small space, is to use your imagination and imagine you're in a big concert hall so that you can unlock your body and that resonance and don't try to pull back and get things tight and tense, trying to compensate for the change of space. And we've talked about this before, but there's muscle memory that goes along with our sound going where our eyes focus, right? So if she's focusing right here and she's not engaging beyond this small confined space, her body's going to pull in. It's not going to sing like it would if it is in a big concert place. So clearly by what she's doing here, I can't get into her brain, but what her body is showing here is that she's engaging something much bigger than the small room, and she's picturing that, and her voice is coming along for the ride with that. So again, I don't know how accurately what we're seeing matches what she is actually singing, like if the sound that we're hearing is the sound she's making in this video at the same time, or if they're recorded at different times, or I don't know. But as I'm watching here, just the performance value matched with the sound that I'm hearing suggests that she's picturing and used to performing in front of large groups, and we can see that with how she's engaging the space around her even when it's tight, and that's really cool. And it's cool because you can use that today as a tool wherever you're singing. Use your imagination to picture a bigger place, and like you're singing to someone in the distance. My performers that I work with all the time in opera theaters, the way I talk about it is singing to grandma who's in the second balcony back row with her hearing aids turned off. If you'll sing to the grandma back up there, then the rest of the audience will appreciate it and be able to hear it and understand it really easily.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, you. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, yeah, yeah. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
Okay, so cool. This young singer rocking things, looks great as a performer, sounds great audio-wise, lots of cool stuff. One thing we can learn from her today that you can try today is taking the words of the song and just speaking them on pitch, like you're talking to someone down a hall or across a busy street, right? Dance with me, instead of dance with me. And pay attention to what your voice does. And if you can make that kind of sound with it staying nice and easy and relaxed here, not push, not force, but just open and resonant, then a lot of times if we then take that exact sound and translate it into our singing, we find that there's a greater amount of ease, a lot more resonance, and a lot less push. So that's one thing we can learn from what she's doing here. The other thing is, if you feel like it's getting tight and compressed here, that it's getting uncomfortable, you're seeing these neck muscles bulge a lot, one thing you can do is you can imagine that you're keeping the sound above the bottom teeth. That if you held a pencil in your mouth this way, that you're singing above that pencil all the time. What that does is it helps keep that resonant space open, that soft palate lifted, and keeps you from trying to push the sound up. Now, you might say, well, what's actually happening here? What do you really want me to do? What I'm really wanting you to do is imagine that visual image, sing, trying to keep that sound up there, and see if it's helpful to you. I can go back through and I can tell you all the little things it's supposed to do and what you can micromanage and try to accomplish it that way. But the reality is I'm asking for a bunch of things all at once that a lot of times that visual image of trying to do that will solve a bunch of things all at once. So that's one possible tool for you to use. Number two big thing that you want to pay attention to if you're feeling that compression is what's going on with this jaw. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to this jaw and it's coming down and back and releasing there. If it's getting tight and compressed, sometimes that's just because we're creating this tension by this jaw pulling forward and getting tight and tense. So what you can do today is close your mouth and gently press between these back molars. Don't use these jaw muscles. Just use your fingers to open your mouth. Bah. And you're gonna notice that releases the jaw down and back. That's the position you want to do. You can sing with it this way on the howl to remind yourself, or just keep checking back and forth between singing and see if you find that place. But again, you'll want to check where you're not opening those jaw muscles with your jaw, you're opening with your fingers, and then try to refine that position then later by using these jaw muscles to find that release down back position. That will help release some of that compression as well. There's a lot of other things that help things stay easy and free and comfortable. Straw works awesome. And finding the right balance between force and flow is huge. What you're doing with your breathing, what you're doing with your abs, lower back, and this feeling of suspension that we use, those are all important things. She's doing a lot of really good stuff here, and it's cool sound, really unique and expressive. Cool stuff. Biggest thing though that I mentioned earlier that I love is that she's just putting it out there. She's not letting, oh, I don't have a big enough space, I don't have the right equipment, it's not gonna look cool. She's just sitting there in what seems like this tiny cramped space with this roof kind of coming at her head, just rocking out and having a great time, making great noise and being expressive. What can we learn from that? Is that's what we care about. Everything else is just bells, whistles, whipped cream, and frosting on the cake. What we really care about is someone making gorgeous sound and letting their body be expressive and match what their music is calling for. And she's doing that here. Awesome. If you want me to work with you or your group to help you sing easier, perform at a consistently higher level, book a time with me at mrperformingartstudio.com. You can also find me on wizio.com if you're looking for just a short little response to a clip that you've already made or a performance that you've done in the past, or just want some tips to help you move to the next level. I'd love to work with you online in private lessons. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. Click like and subscribe. I'd love to hear what you liked about this performer. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. We'll see you next time.